A Galaxy Foil Ancient Tomb is sitting at nearly $400 right now, and collector booster boxes are up 13% since release. And somehow, by the way, this is a set crash video. That's how Edge of Eternities is acting right now, 4 months after release. The very top hits are starting to slightly retrace upward, but almost everything underneath them continues to slide downward or is at the bottom and just drifting sideways at this point. Hey, I'm Joel. I cover Magic prices and products so that you can play more and waste less, and today we are in the middle of the Edge of Eternity Set Crash Edition. We're going to look at the sealed signal that collector boxes are giving me, the Stellar Sights Parfait, which is like the most intense parfait I've ever seen in my life, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I bought with my own money yesterday. Joel R Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect them. And Moxfield, the only place to put your deck lists on the internet. Let's start with the big picture. Edge of Eternity's collector booster boxes are up roughly 3% over the last 3 months and about 13% over the last 6. That tells me that people actually like this product and they want to buy it. The sealed supply at this point, though, may have moved from everywhere to you kind of have to look for it. Excluding the headliner at the very top, you've got Galaxy Foils of these Stellar Sights. These are the lottery tickets. A Galaxy Foil Ancient Tomb is like a $300 card right now. It's up like 1% on the month, meaning it's like bottomed out and it's slowly starting to creep up. If you're a whale and you want one of these, go buy it, but that's not really where the opportunity is for us. For the rest of us, look at the bottom of the parfait. The non-foil borderless Ancient Tomb hit $75 in November. And since then, it's moved up to 87. That chart shape is exactly the kind of thing that I would look for, especially for the top-end cards. The market has settled, and the buyers are starting to move in. Lower down in the price brackets, you've got cards like Lotus Field. The base copy's just sitting around 11 bucks. The foil's like 16. This one jumped up a little bit to like the $12 range, and then started settling back down toward $10 as we got further along in the year. So the rule here for me is simple. If you want the cool treatments like the poster cards or the non-foil borderless lands, the crash is over. Most of the cards in this set, the crash is over. The price is settled, and now is the window to pick your lane and grab the copies that you'll be happy to own forever. So let's pause and take a step back and talk about the headliner Sothera the Super Void for a moment. It's the face of the set, but it has a very weird pricing parfait happening here. At the very top, you've got the Singularity Foil. This is the textless version that appears in less than 1% of collector boosters. This card is a ghost. Don't chase ghosts. The price is theoretical for 99% of players. There's no need to have this unless you want to flex. But one step down over there to the right, where if I did this right, I was blocking the price so that you can guess it right before I tell it to you and move the box from blocking the price. Future editing Joel, sorry to spring this on you. This one's got a fancy Japanese style treatment. You would expect the headliner in the shiny Fracture new foil to be one of the most expensive cards in the set, right? Wrong. Fracture Foil Sothera is sitting around like $90 market. That is surprisingly soft to me. When the chase version of the main thingamadoodle of this set is $100, that tells me there's too much supply there or not enough demand. And if you go down to the base copy, it's just basically free. Is this card too mean? What's going on? Why is nobody playing the main thing of this set? And yeah, Fracture Foil Sothera, get mad at me. I called it a chase card. If I opened that, I'd be like, yes! What? This card's only 80 bucks? The card seems really strong. Maybe it just hasn't been around long enough for people to adopt it. Maybe, I don't know why people aren't really playing it. I haven't even tested it myself yet here, but look, my advice is simple. If you want the Sothera to play, buy the base copy for like whatever, salt Ricky off your back porch and lol about the black hole jokes you can make. If you want a Sothera to flex, $100 is going to get you a Fracture Foil and make you feel like you've got control of all of space and eternity. Just be sure of which copy you're telling Granny to go buy for you, because if she confuses the Fracture Foil with the Singularity Foil and spends $1,500 on a black hole, your grandpa's gonna run you over with a reindeer. That price on Sothera brings us directly to the rest of the fracture foils. Remember how I said Sothera is $100? Well, the fracture foil of Icetill Explorer is over $200. The market doesn't care about headliner cards as much as it cares about cards that actually go in decks. Icetill Explorer is the best non-reprint hit in the entire box because people are actually sleeving it up. It was near 230 back in September, and it's settled right here down around that $200 mark. Not that bad of a pickup right now, to be completely honest. You have a very specific band of winners right here at the top of this slot. Icetill Explorer, Starfield Vocalist, Exalted Sunborn. Those are the only non-reprint cards sitting above $200 or around in that fracture foil. Everything else falls well below that. You look at something like the Instone in its fracture foil. It dropped from 120, 170 back in September, all the way down to 90 at this point. That tells you that supply is hitting the market. People are chasing certain things from this set, but the demand for some of these cards is pretty soft. Honestly, as a final word on the high end, most of this stuff, if it's not like the top 2 or top 3 or 4 cards, it's all leveled off for what it's worth. It's fallen to where it's going to fall, and you're probably good to go to snap some of this off and just never look back at it. In 2 years, a lot of this highest top end stuff that we're looking at with this section is definitely going to be higher than it is right now. And I feel like I want to clarify, that's not to say, hey, go spec all this stuff. That's just the nature of the game. That's just how it happens. Let's drop down to the main set and take a look at some base copies of playable cards, which is all you need after all for your commander decks. The price of every base copy of every card in Edge of Eternities that's not a reprint is pretty much dead settled at this point. They're falling or stagnant, with exactly 2 exceptions that you need to care about. The first is Quantum Riddler. This card is seeing massive play, and the price reflects it. You've got a market price of like $42. Your foils are up in the 50s. And the second one is Ouroboros. This is also steadily climbing because good card. Many counter, big creature, many big creature. The market is telling us that the playability is going to drive the price of these 2 cards in particular up. Even heavy hitters like Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. Look at this chart here, falling. Evindo, Waking Haven, one of the most expensive of the new mythic cycle of planet lands. This one's down to $14 market, and look at the chart on this one. If you want anything else from the main set in the base copy, it's not going to go too much lower than it already has. So if you're comfortable with the price, snap it off. Don't look back. There's plenty more coming, I promise. They will never stop printing things. Now I want to tell you exactly what I did with my own money yesterday and what sparked me into just saying, okay, it's time to make this video. I think I put it off for 30 days longer than it really needed to be put off, but we're here now. I went on to TCG Player and I bought 4 copies of every single Shockland from this set, and also 1 secret card that you're not allowed to see. I bought 4 Breeding Pool, 4 Godless Shrine, 4 of all of them. I also bought a copy of Dawnsire Sunstar Dreadnought. Like I said, all of the cards in this set that aren't at the tip top have pretty much bottomed out. Dawnsire is one of the mythics that I just happen not to pull, but I want immediately for my In-Spirit deck. I've just been waiting for this moment to arrive, so I tossed it in along with the secret card that you're not allowed to know what it is. All of these are beginning to stagnate and get ready to start that slow trudge upward. These are the whole reason I wanted to make this video. You can pick up Watery Graves right now for like $8. Godless Shrines around $7. When a card like a Shockland stops dropping and it sits flat for nearly a month, we're at the floor. The risk of these dropping to $5 is not 0, but the chance of them creeping back up to 12 or 15 over the next 2 years while I don't pay attention is pretty high. I'm just going to take these, digitally put them in a folder on my Dragon Shield app, and we're going to track them, but I'm calling it right now. This is the buy window for these 5 Shocklands base copies, and the special copies too. Honestly, just don't expect to get Galaxy foils for cheap. I also want to take a look at the Commander decks because they obliterated the price of some sweet staples. This is where you're going to fill your Commander collection with playables. The first is Oracle of Moldiah. Look at this card. This used to be a $50 card back in the day, said the old man. It was expensive right before this reprint, and now it's at $2.80. $3 for an Oracle of Moldiah is disrespectful. You need to get a copy of this card. Swan Song is your most expensive reprint here at about $7, $8. Fabled Passage is about $5. Cool new art on both of those. Sci-fi themed a little bit. Morag, Fury of Akim right here, about $2 for a mythic finisher. You got Braids, Arisen Nightmare, one of my favorite pet cards, around $3 to get a copy of this. These are the kinds of cards that fill out a Commander collection so that whenever you're ready to go build a new deck, your utility, glue, card draw, whatever pieces are ready and waiting. I'd go through personally, if I were you, the singles lists for Commander decks with these, with like every pre-con cycle that comes out for every set really, and check for staples that are between that like $2 to $5 mark, because those are the ones that they're likely to play a little closer to the vest with reprints and be good targets when they are widely available. I want to leave you with a specific card that I want you to take a look at from the Edge Commander decks, and two underpriced sleepers that you're going to laugh at a little bit from the main set. The Commander card is Eumidian Hatchery. It's a land and it's tricky. When it goes to the graveyard, you get 1/1 flyers based on the counters on it. This is the kind of card that does nothing for years, and then someone breaks it in Legacy or Vintage because of some new card that got printed, and it becomes a $30 or $40 card overnight. I'm not telling you to spec on 100 of these. I'm just telling you to buy one copy for your land sacrifice deck before somebody figures out how to break it alongside every broken card that you can play in Magic. Lands that can make creatures traditionally are scarier than they look. And two base copies that I want to shout out are Exalted Sunborn and Ice Till Explorer. I know I talked about the $200 versions, but the base copy of each is between like $12 and $14. Both of these cards are sick. Both of these cards will see play in Commander for a long time. I would say if you see either of these under $10 or even near, like right now, I would grab it. These are two cards from the set that I feel like have legs to stand on long term. I've already made shorts about both of them, but just want to make sure that you've got an earmark on these two in particular. Right now is a buyer's market for Edge of Eternity singles. Don't be the guy opening the box trying to chase the Galaxy foil. Be the guy buying the Oracle of Moldiah for cheaper than you can get a cup of coffee now. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button. That's the quickest and freest way to help me out and stay on top of your most expensive hobby. I'll catch you in the next one.